You have the eye for human weakness, but not the stomach.
What's this about?
Oh, just a feeling I have.
Ouch. When you get those feelings, insurance companies start to go bankrupt.
What kind of music do you usually have here?
Oh, we got both kinds. We got country and western.
Are you the police?
No, ma'am. We're musicians.
It's the Al Travis Show. Love having him on. He's Senator Rob Kupec. Senator, how are you today?
Okay, another new week. You know,
I asked you the trick questions first. Do you remember where you were at when the the United States men won gold in 1980?
I do.
You do see everybody does.
Yeah, we had the classic basement, that had been done over into the family room. We were watching it down on the TV in the basement. You bet.
All right. So then the obvious next answer is exactly 46 years later. Where were you when the men won gold this weekend?
I think I was in my kitchen.
You were standing and watching, or you didn't care anymore?
I was not watching it. No, we had a late night Saturday night, and I got up late on Sunday. And
all right, no judgment here. I just want you to say it was. We have these friends that get together and we do this we all bring interesting beer and we sit around in one of the shop condo and we sit around and drink beer from all the places we've collected through the last year. So, all right, no judgment, but I want to be invited someday. That's all I'm going to say. Okay,
you'd love it.
All right, good. Yeah, I'm sure I would. All right, as I like to do with you especially, I'm going to blame you for everything everyone does on your side, and I want you to stand up for it because I have to release this energy somehow. How did you think your first week went? You all got together on Tuesday. Really, that was ceremonial stuff. We'll talk about that. But then you got going. How did you think the first week went?
I think the first week on the Senate side went just fine. We moved some legislation. We got some things done. We had the Hoffman thing on Tuesday. We had a nice tribute to Senator Anderson on Thursday. We had with the Ag Committee, we moved some meaningful legislation in the Ag Committee. That was good. And Health and Human Services, found out about trying to look ahead of how we're going to navigate all the federal cuts that are coming our way. So, yeah, good week in the Senate.
Do they teach you how to do that? Is this inbred on you people that are politicians? I asked you straight, how did it go? And then you put the little on the Senate side and you qualify it.
And this is the other thing. Maybe we're bad about this, but we get in our little Senate bubble too. And, sometimes I don't even know what happens over in the House. I do on this case, on the big thing, because it was in the news. But literally, I've gone back home and done local radio, and somebody said, I heard you're gonna outlaw gas lawnmowers. And I went, what? There's no what? And then I'm like, what are they talking about? I'm like, oh my God, there's a House bill about this. I don't even know anything about it. So,
well, see, and I try to cut you slack. This is only the big stuff. We're going to talk big stuff on this show. But when 7,000 bills get thrown up, right, in a year, there's no way Senator Kupec should know all of them because most are just dying on the vine. But that all being said,
and particularly if they are in the other body, because I really am I have focused on the work I have in front of me.
But the ones we are going to talk about, I'm going to hold you to. But first, I want to do this. So the Senate, you get Senator Hoffman coming in on Tuesday, and he a serious friend of this program. I love that guy to death. Him walking up there, I've said this before, we've got the two cops behind him. He looks like the end of a Star Wars movie. You just need that damn music as he's coming up, and he gives his speech about his wife and his kid and how others could have been killed. And you just had to sit there and say, thank God, right? I mean, you just had to say, this is the good side of what happened, if you will. And that was pretty cool. What were your thoughts of the entrance?
Yeah, it was very dramatic. I mean, he had thought about this a long time, that he wanted those two state troopers who've been with him through the whole thing to escort him up the stairs. I think he set a good tone. For the whole thing. Okay. On a personal note, it did bother me that in the camera shot, because he sits right behind me, so I had to turn around and face him. All I could see is the big bald spot on the back of my head of the camera shot. I was like, oh, that's awful.
You and your wife, your family probably noticed. The rest of us didn't. You were looking at it. I did not even notice it.
All of the legislative assistants were like, there's Kupec's bald head on the back of his... Yeah, it was... Yeah, that's who I heard it from.
Okay. Yeah,
and plus I'm like, wow, it has gotten really thin back there. I don't see back there very often.
Yeah, all right. Okay, that hurt you. Okay, I got it. Then you all gather up in the house side and do a bit of a Hortman tribute,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Not as much of that shown, which would probably all due respect, that was okay. But as I understand it, when that day was done, everybody was kind of in that kumbaya. This could have been us, by the grace of God, and everybody was in a good place. Would you agree with that, or give me your side?
I think so. I think the divisions, for whatever reason, I think the divisions on the House side run a little deeper than they do on the Senate side. And so, I'm not sure if all House members were there on that.
All right, Doctor.
Sure.
Doctor, fill this for me then. Why is the Senate and the House so different? You're all Minnesotans. You're split 34-33. They're 67-67. Why is it so different?
I think some of it just goes back to the start of session last year, right? If you remember the start of, we were also tied at the start of session last year. Because of the passing away of Senator Dietzick. And yet we came to, before session started, we came to, here's how we're going to operate under a tie. And we gave some things and they gave some things. And we started that way. And we started it as shared responsibility. And it set up a theme last year to go through. And I know we're going to talk about the Inspector General bill, but I also think the way that we worked together on that Inspector General bill last year built some goodwill. And I think that has carried over into this session. The House, on the other hand, started very divided last year, where Democrats weren't coming in and Republicans were trying to,
do stuff anyway.
Definition of a quorum. And that didn't, that set a tough tone for the whole year. So I think, maybe credit to the leadership for both Republicans and Democrats on the Senate side, and the membership, because the membership had to sign off on it. We're like, okay, we're good with this. So
let's go with what happened on because in my opinion, the people I talked to thought, except for you being honest with me, the ones who've talked to me said it was a pretty kumbaya moment on Tuesday, but by Wednesday, kiss it all goodbye. And here's the interesting Wednesday, I don't know, 2-3 in the afternoon, I suppose, I get an X or a couple of X's, and it was the Democrats putting on that the Republicans killed the OIG bill. And I go, what? And so you start reading, according to the Democrats who put this on, by a 67 votes, the Republicans killed it. Now, Senator, I follow along just enough to be dangerous. 9 months ago, it was Republicans voting 67 for it, Dems 67 against. So it had to 180 degrees switch for that headline to be true. So I start reading into it. The Democrats threw in, if you will, the poison pill that changed the bill that the Senate had voted on, put that in there, and all the headline said was Republicans ended the OIG bill. Is that how you understand how this works? The Republicans don't want it anymore?
I was not, or I'm not, I was not following the plan. I will say, I was, when I found out the news that it was, had gone down in committee there, I was with Senator Gustafson, who's been, the chief author of the Senate side. She was just, we think we produced a really good bill. And I don't think it needs to be amended. I mean, unless there's, I don't know, anything can be fine tuned, but I don't know that it needs to be so drastically changed.
This wasn't a fine tune. This was it wasn't independent. This was a change the bill.
I'm just saying, in case somebody finds something this could be maybe, there's something in there that could be better. Sure. But, I think knowing the process that bill went through, I think it's one of the more solid. So I'm disappointed.
I'm gonna put you in such a bad spot right now. So here it comes. Explain one good reason. Here we are. So it passes the Senate. I mean, when did you have a 67 bill ever in the Senate? I mean, since I've been here, this was a bill people wanted. You guys wanted. The other side, 67. That's when we ended last year. We went through 9 months of the most embarrassing times in, I believe, Minnesota history on a national stage about fraud. From the little Nick Shirley guy running around with his camera to all the stuff we've been through this summer. Explain to me how not one even far right, just lofts of center Democrat didn't say, you know what, I see what we're talking about. This may not be the perfect bill, but we got to get something good here. How lockstep are they on the left that after that much beating, we still can't say the OIG bill that Senator Rob Kupec's behind, I can get behind?
All right. So, I mean, all right. So
I know it's a box. I'm sorry.
Well, no, politics are strange. And does somebody see something too where they think we can use something for leverage to negotiate something? All right. It's like a bonding bill. Like we all want a bonding bill, but we know, because, in the Senate, it takes, a super majority. So if you're in the minority party, that's the leverage you have. So, I mean, ideally, we should do a bonding bill like right out of the gate and be done with it. But it'll be the last thing because it can be used. So I'm not sure what the dynamics are in the House. If somebody thinks that they also can use this somehow to leverage something else they want in a tied body. I mean, everything becomes a leverage tool when your body is tied.
And I think you're absolutely correct. And I think that might be where people really get tired of politics. It's like we can't do the one good thing we know. Yeah, you want to argue whether you get a sewer system and I get a new police station. I don't care. But this is different. And can I ask you, is that a picture of Richard Nixon over your shoulder? What is that?
It is. I had an uncle that did caricatures.
Nice.
So Johnson's over there, Nixon's over here, and there's one of, you can't see it, but Ford handing a football to Carter.
Okay.
Yeah, but I had an uncle who did these. These were up in my house as a kid, and my parents, I got them from my parents. I love them dearly because my uncle drew them.
They're fantastic. I'm looking, and just so folks, it's radio. Nixon's it's cartoonish. He's got the draw really out there, but beautiful. I just noticed. I want to say
they're caricatures. They're in the best sense.
Yes, absolutely. We got to go to break. We'll be back. I've got Senator Rod Kupec. He's going to answer me, what is pornography? We do that next.
At LGH Wealth Management, our mission is to create financial empowerment through independent, personalized, and authentic financial planning. That means meeting you where you are and helping you get where you want to go. Whether you're a business owner planning for growth, succession, or a future sale, or a hardworking individual looking to get ahead, reduce stress, and tackle life's financial challenges, we're here to help. From retirement planning and investment management to tax-efficient strategies, estate planning, and risk management, LGH Wealth delivers comprehensive guidance you can trust. Call LGH Wealth Management today at 507-525-7324. That's 507-525-7324. Securities offered through J.W. Cole Financial Incorporated, JWC, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through J.W. Cole Advisors Incorporated, JWCA. Lubeck Geisler Ham Wealth Management Incorporated and JWC JWCA are unaffiliated entities.
need to ask him his opinion more than once. Al Travis on The Al Travis Show.
I respect Senator Rob Kupec's opinion very, very much, so if he tells me I'm just too old, I will believe that. Trying to get some things done. I thought in this session, if we're not going to get the big stuff done, a lot of the little cleanup work could be done. Stuff that, who can say no to? I don't know who the Democrat or the Republican was who brought up a bill, basically, in the House that said you have to be over 18 to go to adult websites in Minnesota. That was the bill. Now, I'm sure it's 3,000 pages long, because how do you decide what is good and bad? I have no idea. But literally, I turned the TV on, and I'm listening to Representative Finke argue to the fact that we can't have a bill like this because a lot of kids, especially in the LGBT community, that's where they learn about sex. All right, I'm 61. I'm just old-fashioned. I don't think we want our kids learning about sex from people who make porn sites. That's the point of the whole bill. Am I that old, Rob? Am I so old that I remember when Playboys were behind like a plastic bag behind the counter, and then they had like all the good stuff covered up so you couldn't see any of the goods because you didn't want to see anything, at the newsstand, for God's sake. So how old am I? Am I just that far out of touch?
No, I think the first thing is, I think what's the definition of pornography? I mean, there are people trying to take books out of schools where you're like, I don't know that's
and we can have that conversation.
And so I think it's a tough bill just because they're like, what is a definition? What's an adult website? What's over? I mean, we all know what I shouldn't be on that one, but it gets a little, and it starts to move into other things. And then, there are people who are on the right who think anything that's LGBTQ is pornography in any way, shape, or form. And, it becomes very tough. Yeah.
Well, and it did quickly, and I'm with you that it would be tough. Okay, then let's get the minds together, both sides, and make those tough calls. Some books, maybe they're porn, maybe not. Let's sit together and make a little vote. We can get down to the minutia of it, but on the top level, what is it? You got to be 18 to get a tattoo, right? Maybe it's 16. I don't even know that, but I know there's an age limit on tattoo.
I have no idea.
I know you got to be 21 to drink. I know you got to be 18. We have rules on a lot of things. This one didn't bother me on the outside. Now, you're right. There's some minutia down the middle, and maybe we'll run into a website that says, no, it's about breast cancer awareness. And, okay, I get it. We might have to work through that, but that's kind of what we pay y'all to do.
Yeah,
work through the minutia.
Websites, there's so many websites, though. I don't even know where you would even start. It's so hard to say. I mean, anything. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
all right.
We have. I mean, pornography is a huge problem. There are so many people addicted to pornography, and it's gotten, from when we were kids, and there were the Playboys behind the counter. It's just way too easy to even sometimes, you make one mistake Googling something and you're like, whoa, that's not what I want to see.
Oh, no, I got it. So we got to have some protections. I don't know how to get there, but you didn't say I was too old. Yeah, you didn't say I was too old, which made me feel good because I just read it. I'm like, you got to be kidding. I don't.
Yeah. I will tell you, I just thought about if do you have any tattoos at all? Do you have
No. I never felt there's that one thing that I wanted to be there forever. I shouldn't probably show this. I have a brother. I have many brothers. One brother who got a Tasmanian devil on his shoulder blade. Back then, the cartoon was rolling. It was really cool. I think now in his 50s, might not be quite as cool. I just throw it out there.
I think if I were to get a tattoo, I would get one of Hervé Villechaize. Then I have a tattoo of tattoo.
See, thank you. He's here all week, people. Be sure to tip the bartenders.
My contribution. To be ironic, a tattoo of tattoo. I don't know, but there's a certain age cutoff of that joke too. We're on.
Well, see, we are, and people are like, "What's a tattoo?" Tattoo. You got to look it up as Fantasy Island. The plane. Okay, I got to fly. I love having you on, sir. We'll see you again next week.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Al.
Senator Rod Kupec on the Al Travis Show.